Hello everyone, welcome back to another installment of Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. And why is it that when I start up a new installment, the Dragon Age servers are down? Why? Anyway. Well, moving on. Last we left off, we had finally met up with our new Grey Warden companion, Alistair, who, by the way, is one of my favorite companions in this entire game. As you can see, he's a bit of a jokester, and humor is always good for the party. Anyway, before we go meet up with Duncan and the other recruits, we're going to stop by the cage with the prisoner in it. And then we're going to have a bit more of a in-depth chat with Alistair. And we shall go from there. So, who is this prisoner sitting in this cage hanging above the ground, I wonder?
Huh. Someone finally comes and talks to the lone prisoner. I don't suppose you've come to sentence me.
You haven't been sentenced.
No. They put someone like me in a cage until someone important has time to decide what to do with me. I don't suppose you have a bit of kindness in you? All I want is food and water. They haven't fed me since I was locked up and I'm starving.
That's horrible. Why haven't they fed you?
I expect nobody thought of it with all the battles and such.
Why would I want to help you?
Because you might want something I don't need. Them circle wizards got a chest they keep things in. Magical things. And I stole the key. That's why I'm here. I got one of them drunk, took his key and tried to sneak to the chest. They assumed I was deserting. I can't use it from here. But I'd trade you for some food and water.
They didn't find the key when you were arrested?
I swallowed it. But it's, come back into my possession since then, so to speak.
I'll see what I can do? Question mark?
Just ask my guard for his. He's still got some dinner. I saw him put it in his coat.
Well, let's hope I have enough ranks in persuasion to persuade this guy to part with his food. If not, I'm going to be losing money.
Lucky dog. You Grey Wardens get to ride with the king while I'm left with the drudgery of guarding this deserter. They should have just hanged him. Put his head on a pike as an example.
Uh-huh. Who is this prisoner exactly?
They say he was recruited before the war up in Dinnerham. Probably figured he'd never have to fight if he served the king, right?
Why did he want to desert?
Why does anyone want to desert? Because he thinks he's going to die and he's a bloody coward, that's why. Either that or he's been listening to a bunch of hogwash about how the Darkspawn will drag you off and eat you.
I had a chat with him, actually.
Don't expect it was an enlightening conversation.
He asked for some food and water.
Did he now? Since nobody sends me nothing to feed him with, the only way we'll get that is if I give him mine.
So you miss one meal. This man could be hanged soon.
All right, all right. I guess the poor fella could stand to have one meal in his belly before he hangs. Don't know why you care. I had nothing to do with it, though. If anyone asks why he's burping, I'm gonna say it was you. Just so you know.
Well, it's because we're doing a good deed, that's why. And because when I see sad sots like him, I think of myself. And be like, I was him once. Except I'm not gonna die, hopefully.
So? Brought me some food, have you? I'm so hungry I could faint dead away.
Yeah, you're gonna die soon anyway, buddy. Here's some food.
Much obliged. May Andraste herself rain blessings upon you. And, as I mentioned, here's the key. Use it in good health, huh?
Huh. Considering where that came from, let's hope we're not the only ones in good health.
Oh, and Alistair approves +1. Now, let me take a moment to explain the approval system very briefly. Basically, with permanent companions, you get to talk to them about various things, and when you take them on adventures, unlike a lot of RPGs, they're not just silently standing there. In Dragon Age, your companions have opinions. They sometimes voice these opinions, they sometimes don't, but either way, your actions reflect their perception of you, and this is reflected in the approval system. Actions they tend to agree with or approve of earn approval points, while actions they disapprove of or don't agree with take approval away. With Alistair in particular, a bit of a spoilery, he's sort of a good guy, so generally doing nice things for people will generally garner approval, while basically being a jerk to people gets approval points taken away. So, this is the chest you're supposed to unlock. Unfortunately, we can't unlock it right now because there's a tranquil guarding it. And in fact, we're not even going to be getting to this chest for a while because in the Return to Ostagar DLC, when you get to come back, there will be nicer things in the chest than if you take the stuff from the chest right after you get back from the Kokari Wilds. So we're just going to hold on to that key for a while. Ugh. I still don't want to know where that's been. Okay, technically I do know, but still, that's disgusting. So, let's have a chat with Alistair a bit more in depth here, shall we?
Yes?
Tell me a little about yourself, Alistair.
As I said, I was trained as a Templar before Duncan recruited me about 6 months ago. The Chantry raised me, and becoming a Templar was a decision made for me a long time ago. Duncan saw I wasn't happy, and figured my training against mages could double for fighting Darkspawn. Now, here I stand, a proud Grey Warden. The Grand Cleric wouldn't have let me go if Duncan never forced the issue. I'll always be grateful to him.
You didn't want to join the Chantry?
It just wasn't for me. I believe in the Maker well enough, but I never wanted to devote my life to the Chantry.
You know, I notice you speak fondly of Duncan.
I spent years in that Chantry, hopelessly resigned to my fate. Duncan was the first person who cared what I wanted. He risked a lot of trouble with the Grand Cleric to help me.
Maybe Duncan thought you'd be useful. I mean, you're a trained warrior. It's possible.
Or maybe he just happens to be a good man.
Ow! I think I hit a sore spot there. I see. Well, don't worry about it. I'm not trying to say anything bad. I'm just saying. You seem like you'd probably be a capable warrior. Anyway, I have a few questions for you.
What about?
Tell me about the Grey Wardens.
So I imagine. What would you like to know?
What makes you all so special?
The Grey Wardens are warriors without equal. Darkspawn threatened to destroy the world 4 times over. Each time, the Grey Wardens led mankind to victory. Nobody knows more about Darkspawn, and nobody's better equipped to deal with them. You'll see. Trust me.
So they're knights? Heroes?
I don't know if I'd go that far. Duncan says the Grey Wardens do whatever is necessary to protect mankind from Darkspawn. That means some pretty extreme things. Whatever it takes to bring victory.
I'm not sure I know anything about the Grey Wardens, to be honest.
Well, let's see. Surely you've heard of Weishaupt Fortress? The great eyrie carved into the White Cliffs far off in the Neanderthals? That's where the Grey Wardens once kept their griffins. The griffins died out, however, and our numbers have dwindled since the last blight. There's only a handful left in Ferelden. A few more in other nations.
Where are all the Grey Wardens now?
The others are camped with the King's soldiers in the valley. The King's given us a position of honor at the vanguard, despite our small numbers. I think Cailan is actually excited to ride into battle with us. Maybe he thinks that's what his father would have done.
So, I've heard that the Grey Wardens have the right to recruit anyone. Is that true?
King Marek, Cailan's father, reaffirmed the power the Grey Wardens were given during the Blights. In practice, we can't conscript too often without hurting our cause. We were exiled from Ferelden once. Best not to let that happen again.
That's all I wanted to know.
You want to ask me about something else?
Yes, I do. I want to know about the joining ritual? Question mark?
I wish I could tell you more. Maybe ask me again after Duncan speaks to you about it. You want to ask me about something else?
Dun dun dun, they're not telling us anything. Tell me about Duncan.
Duncan is the leader of the Grey Wardens in Ferelden. Which he would say doesn't mean much, as there aren't many of us here. Yet. Beyond that, he's a good man. A good judge of character. I owe him a lot. What about you? What do you think of him?
Actually, he does seem like a very kind man. He's a bit firm, though. I'll give him that.
Fair enough. He's done the best he can with what little he has. And that includes me, I guess. You want to ask me about something else?
Yes. The blight Duncan mentioned.
Of course.
So, what is a blight? Where do darkspawn come from?
You want the Chantry's version or the truth?
Well, I'm assuming they aren't the same thing, but honestly, I wouldn't know since I'm a dwarf. So I'm assuming they're at a disagreement?
They seldom are.
Seldom are at an agreement. What is the Chantry's version?
According to the Chant of Light, the Maker imprisoned the old gods underground long ago, as punishment for tricking mankind into worshipping them. The old gods still whispered to some men and taught them magic. These men became the Magisters of the Tevinter Empire. The Magisters used their gift to enter the Golden City, tainting it and themselves. They were cast out by the Maker and became the first Darkspawn. They fled underground, bringing their taint to their gods. The tainted old gods were the archdemons who rose from their prisons and led the Darkspawn against the world.
Ah. And what's the truth?
The truth is, we don't really know. They come up from the ground, and that's as far as we've gotten.
So what you talked about was the first blight.
Yes, and it nearly wiped us out. When defeated, the Darkspawn flee back underground and seek out another old god to taint, thus bringing another blight.
So where is the archdemon for this blight?
We haven't seen it yet. People are beginning to think this is just an unusually large Darkspawn raid without an archdemon to unify them. But seriously, the archdemon could be in the wilds or underground. It could be hiding. Just because it hasn't shown itself doesn't mean it isn't out there.
Why not kill the darkspawn when they're underground?
You're a dwarf. You tell me. Your people have been trying that for just about ever, haven't they?
True.
They've controlled the deep roads ever since they defeated the Dwarven kingdoms. Even if we invaded, we can only chase them so far.
What is an archdemon exactly?
The old gods were dragons, so the stories say. Big ones. Intelligent, even. The Tevinter Empire had big statues of them. Each dragon had a name and a place in the cosmos. It's all very intricate. The archdemons may not be the old gods, but they're definitely dragons.
Well, folks, unfortunately we're running out of time, so I'm going to continue this conversation on the next installment of Let's Play Dragon Age Origins Dwarven Commoner Edition. I will see you all then.